Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to English grade 7. Students, today we are going to talk about homophones. Yes, this is related to our vocabulary, it is related to words. And now let's read our students' learning outcome. It says, differentiate between homophones and near homophones. For example, advise, advise. Correctly use frequently confused words. For example, to, and to. There, and they are. Yes. Students, first, let's talk about homophones. What are they? They are words that actually pronounce the same, but they are different in spellings. So we often confuse them. We need to understand what are homophones, what are near homophones. Some examples are given over here. And then we are going to talk about frequently confused words like to, and to. They are both having different meanings and functions. So in order to avoid errors and mistakes in our writing, we need to understand what are homophones, how we can identify them, and then use them correctly according to the context. This is your vertical linkage. Now students, I have just told you about homophones. Now, have you ever heard words that are pronounced the same but they have different meanings? Now, can you come up with words which we have seen in the previous slides that are looking the same? They are pronounced same but they have different meaning. So come quickly with your answers. Do this interesting 5 minutes brainstorming session. You can note them down as well, share with your peer or fellow, and then talk about it in the class. All right, students, I hope that you have done it and enjoyed it. Homophones, let's talk about them. Homophones are words that are pronounced the same, but they are different in spelling and meaning. Yes, only the pronunciation is the same, the spellings are different, the meaning is also different. So based on the sound that are similar, that's why we call them homophones. Homo means having similarity, they are similar, and phone is related to sound. So words with similar sounds are homophones. For example, TOO2, this is used for showing likeness, showing the word also. TWO2, this is also pronounced the same but the spellings are different and the meaning is also different. And this too is having different spelling and different meaning. But all these three are pronounced the same. Similarly, we have examples like there and there. There is a pronoun shown for possession, and THERE, there is for showing direction. Here, there. So they have different functions, meanings, and spellings, but they are sounding the same. Right and right, by and by. All these words are homophonous. It means they are homophones. So every word that is sounding the same with other words, all of them make a group of homophones. Here are some more homophones: male and male, pair and pair, do and do, whole and whole. You can notice the spellings are different. These things are totally different. Here is a male that you send to each other, and this is a male gender. Here is a pair, like pair of shoes, but pear is a fruit. So they are homophones. They are sounding the same but different in meaning, and they are different in spellings. So I hope that now you get it. Now let's talk about near homophones. Words that are sounding exactly, not exactly the same, but almost the same. That's why we call them near homophones. So near homophones have similar sounds but are not pronounced exactly the same. A slight difference is there in the pronunciation. These words have slight differences in pronunciation, but they may sound similar enough to cause confusion or require careful attention to context. Yes, students. Why are we learning homophones? To avoid confusion, to avoid mistakes and errors. So, near homophones are not sounding exactly the same, but they still cause confusion. So, we also need to understand near homophones as well. Let's look at some examples. Now, students, can you say these words? Yes, this is well and this is whale. Here you have stretched the sound of A, but here this is a short vowel sound. So, but they are sounding almost the same. Well and whale. Poor and poor. Sweet and sweet. So, all these words have different meanings, but they are sounding the same. So, if you are not pronouncing them correctly, they may cause confusion for the listener. And if you mix up the spellings, if you write whale instead of well, because you think that they are sounding the same, but that is wrong. You have to choose the correct homophone for the correct context, otherwise you will make a mistake. Yes, I hope now you are clear about near homophones. Here are some examples. Now, these are near homophones. Precede and proceed. Here we have the sound of O and here we have the sound of E. Precede and proceed. They are near homophones, sounding nearly almost homophones, but they are not exactly homophones. Accept and accept and accept. Descent and descent. Very, weary. Further and farther. So, we know that further means something that is far away, and father, it means dad, father, the male parent. Now, further and farther. Notice that they are not exactly the same, but almost the same. So these are all examples of, all of them are examples of near homophones. Now, students, can you come up with 4 to 5 examples of near homophones? Do it quickly, find them out, and show your understanding. Now, this is your classroom activity where you will pause the video now and do this activity quickly. You have to separate the pair of homophones and near homophones from the list and use them in your sentences too, to show your understanding. Now, let's talk about homophones and near homophones. So, do this quickly and then we will talk about the answers. Yes. We are going to write NH for near homophones and H for homophones. Further and farther. They are near homophones. Refuse and refuge. Near homophones. Whether and whether. They are complete and full homophones. Precede, proceed. Near homophones. Effect and affect. Effect and affect. They are also near homophones. Yes. Alright, students. Now, let's do the activity for which we are learning homophones. So, when we are writing sentences, we need to choose the right kind of word, the right homophone for the sentence. For example, These people are artists. There, they are, or they are. Which one is the right word to place over here? Skills are extraordinary. There. Yes. Because we are referring to these people. So, this is the right option. Next, Aaron knows perfectly well how to mix the food items with source, sauce, or sauce. Yes. When we are talking about mixing food, what do we talk about? Food item, sauce. So sauce is the right option. Now notice students, all of them are exactly or almost near homophones, but we have to choose the right one for our sentence. Now you can do this one by pausing the video, solve these multiple choice questions. Alright, let's move on students. This is your simulation link for interesting and extensive information, and this is your worksheet where it is related to the main lesson and you have to complete it. For the homework, you are going to separate the pair of homophones and near homophones from the list and use them in your sentences exactly like we did in the classroom activity. This is for your homework, and you have to make sentences as well to clarify the meaning and working of these different homophones. These are all the resources. And now students, that's all about the lecture today. So we identified and looked with examples about homophones, words that are sounding the same but they have different meanings and spellings. We also talked about near homophones. I hope that you have enjoyed the lecture and learned something new. Now it's time for you to complete your resources, your homework. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.